Alright, welcome back everybody. This is Justin, or Jab Customs. I'm bringing you a drone video. Actually, this is something I want to start doing a lot of. Especially with where I live, there's a lot of really cool stuff to show. Yeah, so I want to try out a couple different modes today. I wanted to try out, just look around more on the GPS mode. I also want to try the ATTI mode, or the attitude mode. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get this up in the air. Let's get it about right there, is fine. And I actually want to change the visual. Let's do a little bit of let's cut these trees right here. And then we'll come up over that one in the middle. So we'll just come through here.
Cause you want me forever, you need me forever, you love me forever. I told you forever, I could use you forever, could say it's forever, but I don't know what forever means. All my love came through the ground, even though it got turned around. All my love came through the ground, even though it got turned around. Forever.
So right now, you can tell the difference. We're going basically 30 miles an hour in GPS. But if I turn on the attitude mode, okay, now the ATTI mode is on. You know, we're going 36, 37, 38. You know, the one thing with the ATTI though is it does use a lot more battery, because I mean it does kick the drone into a whole nother gear, and it also is not as stable as when you're using GPS. Obviously, you know, the reason being because the GPS, it keeps everything nice and stable, nice and in one spot. But the ATTI, it's completely up to you. So like if I just stop, it'll just keep coasting until I decide to bring it back. So there's that. It's, I mean, right now 43 miles an hour, you know, that's really good, you know, and it's only it says it only goes 35. I mean, I don't know. I'll try to fly it over us and see if you can hear it. But this thing, I mean, this thing is flying through the air. So it's just about overhead right now. That house right at the bottom is the one we're at. And I'm looking up. I mean, this thing is ripping up there. So it's definitely some pretty good speed. I really love ATTI mode, just kind of getting where you're going. And then, like, you know, say you're just going where you want to get some good film. And then once you get there, you just stop, turn it in GPS mode, and, you know, that's when you get your really still footage, your nice still footage for that. But I mean, it's a great feature. With the extra power it does give the drone, it really helps if, say, you're out flying and all of a sudden, you know, you get a really windy day. Definitely helps you get back to where you need to be. So, and like, I'll show you right up here what I mean about, like, how it just keeps going. So let's see, we'll make it go back towards the lake. And then, okay, so we'll put it down. So this is us going right now. 42 miles an hour, 43 miles an hour, 44, 45, 46, 47. Alright, so let's just say 47 miles an hour. If I stop, take my hand off the controller, you know, it's still, because it's not in GPS, it coasts a long way before it finally stops. I mean, it coasted almost 100 feet right there. That's one of the things. I mean, that's an ATTI mode too. With GPS mode, it still kind of drifts like that. So that's one of the things I do like over the Phantom, is the Phantom does stop pretty much on a dime. It's really responsive that way. This one kind of takes a little minute, but I can understand why they do that. The difference between this one and the DJI, with how the DJI stops immediately, or somewhat immediately, and this one kind of drifts a little bit. Yes, it can get you into a couple more problems. However, when you're filming, it's a lot smoother. So say you're filming and all of a sudden you decide to change directions, and the Phantom, it stops and like jerks over to the other side and keeps going. This, it's going to be one really fluid motion to bring it back to you. So, and see, like right now we're drifting at, you know, 6 miles an hour. I'm not even touching the controller, and we're just kind of floating around. So that's one of the things that is kind of nice with this. It takes a lot of getting used to, that delay, that kind of hesitant in the changing of directions and stuff like that. So if you anticipate it and you learn to compensate that, then, you know, you can get some really good photography, really good film, and not really run into as much problems. But you do, when you get this and you're flying, if you've flown the DJIs before, you know, it's something you really need to practice with, because it will get you in trouble if you're not expecting it. So we're going to bring it back. You know, let's actually do this here. Let's show the return to home function. So you want to find out when you do the return to home what your surroundings are, because you really want to figure out how much altitude you're going to need in your return to home. With living up here, 300 feet is pretty safe. There's not much, at least not within the little canyon that we're in. There's not much above 300 feet. If I go to the sides of the canyon, you know, that's when it starts getting a little closer. But with where we're at right now, 300 feet's perfect. So that's a safe distance for me. If you're down in the city, or if you're down in a rural area, you know, 50 feet might be fine, you know. I believe that the Autel has a minimum of 90 feet, but that's, I believe, is a 90 feet return to home standard. So let's go ahead and click this little go home. So now you'll see the go home setting was activated, and the drone's going to fly right back to where it took off. As much as I've used this, it's had a little bit of deviation, but as long as you're in a pretty good area, yeah, see, low battery, so as long as you're in a pretty good area, you'll be fine. I like paying a lot of attention because just where I'm taking off and landing this drone, there's not much clearance with the trees. But I mean, it's pretty much always been within, 3 feet of where I took off. So it's very accurate in that sense. It's not dead on the spot with where we took off, but it's pretty accurate. I mean, you can look down and see. Yeah, she's having a little bit of trouble up there. A little windy. But I mean, this open spot right here that we're coming down to, that's where we took off. So it's quite accurate. Also, it drops quick until it gets to about 50 feet. And then it actually slows down a lot. So right now it's kicking around coming down. But once it gets to about 50 feet, it stops, slows way down, and then comes in nice and smoothly. And I'm actually going to move it because it's going to come down right on top of me. It comes and it hovers right around the top, kind of slows it down a little bit, finds its purchase point, and down it goes. So I mean, it's not perfect. It's a little squiggly, I guess you could say. So there's some sketchy times coming down that you're like, oh crap, it's not gonna work, it's gonna crash and stuff like that. But I mean, it does a good job of what it does. It's not perfect. That's why, it's a nice feature to have, but I still prefer landing on my own, landing and taking off on my own. But I mean, that was nice. I mean, it was 1,000 feet away, 400 feet in the air, and it brought it back within a minute. That's pretty good. That's a good feature to have. So, all right, yep, that is it. Hope you guys liked taking a look around the town and a couple of the different features, and I'll be back later on with another video. Go a little further into it and look at a couple more features.